Hey, it's Randy from UC Status. Today I'm going to talk about a brand new device from our friends at Logitech. It's the Logitech Tap Scheduler. The Tap Scheduler just received its certification for Teams and it's ready to go for outside your rooms. So just in case you don't know, the Tap Scheduler is one of the Teams panel devices. One of these room panels that hang outside the door, show you what the calendar is and all that kind of stuff. I've showed you them from other vendors. I won't mention them because this is a Logitech video, but as you can see, this is the Tap Scheduler. It's got a 10.1-inch screen, capacitive touch as you'd expect, multi-touch. A few things that are different about it. So you can see, you can't really see that there are any presence lights, but they're around the sides. So it means that if you're walking down a corridor and you can actually see a bunch of rooms, for instance, left and right, it means you can see, at a glance whether something is available or not. It's got a nice bright screen and it comes with everything you'll need to mount it on any type of surface. It's got a mullion mount to mount on the side of a door jamb, for instance. It can flush mount on any wall from drywall to block, brick, whatever you want. And in the box it comes with a sticky pad that you can actually use on glass if you wanted to. For me, I would actually go for the mullion mount in those kind of situations unless you can't screw into the door jamb, for instance. Everything you need is actually hidden around the back. If you come around the back, you can see that they've got this little hump here for all of the compute and networking and everything. It runs on PoE and only PoE as far as I know. There's no mains power, but that shouldn't be a problem. Most of the time you're going to run these on PoE anyway. In terms of managing the cabling, you can see it's got a little channel there, and then on the side here, for actually hiding that cable, you can use the mullion mount on the left here, or if you're going to chase it around the bottom. And then if you're flush mounting this over a hole or a back box or something, then you're probably going to be chasing the cable straight back anyway. So as you can see, I'm signed in as 10 forward MTR here. It's just like any Teams panel. You can see you've got the calendar rail on the left, you got the reserve button. I just so happen to be signed in here with the Rally bar with the same account. So if I go ahead and hit reserve, pick a time, and then hit reserve, then you can see that the status light will go red, and in a moment you'll see the meeting actually hit the meeting bar. Right, just like that. So this is the same Teams meeting that I scheduled a second ago, and it just appears on the actual screen itself on the calendar rail. And of course I got the Tap console behind me and it shows on that. Like every Logitech device, it's managed by the Sync platform. So the Rally bar, any other devices you've got, any other Microsoft Teams rooms, headsets, certain headsets, and webcams, all manageable under the same platform. And the Tap Scheduler is no different. Not a huge amount of settings you can get at from inside the console, but you can actually run updates and a few other bits and pieces. Now, a couple of other interesting things about this. I know this has just been recently certified for Microsoft Teams, and as you can see, I've got it signed into Teams, but I just wanted to show you what else it's capable of. You got the About, any updates that are available, and connectivity. It'll do wired and Wi-Fi if you need it to. And if I go into System and then tap on Change Service Provider, you can see it's also capable of running as a Zoom room, something called Meteo, and Robin, in addition to Teams. So I don't want to change the service provider, so I'm just going to press Cancel, and then I'm going to go back. And really, there's not a lot else to say about this. It is a Teams panel. It is one of 3 vendors that have one right now. I believe there's some others being worked on. Perhaps Neat, for instance, might come out with one in the future. You can also get them from Yealink and from Crestron. But if you've got a Logitech estate of Microsoft Teams rooms and other devices, and you're already using the Sync platform and other things from Logitech, then I think it makes perfect sense to go for the Logitech Tap Scheduler. But even if you don't run Logitech in your estate, but you need a room panel, then I would definitely consider the Logitech Tap Scheduler. It's quite a nice looking panel. It's got a nice big bright screen. The status indicators and everything are already built in, and it's got a great range of mounting options. And if you don't use Microsoft Teams, of course I would try to talk you into it, but you can use one of the other platforms. If you're using Exchange Online, then that's fine as well. You can still run it in Teams mode, and it'll sign into Exchange Online just like that anyway. So is there anything I would change about the Tap Scheduler? Well, one thing's first. The presence lights are all down the sides, which means you can't actually see the presence status of the scheduler from the front, unless, of course, it's against a wall and this red light or green light is actually glowing against the backdrop of the wall. I'd probably make these protrude a little bit so you can see the status from around the front. The other thing is it doesn't have a motion sensor, which means that if you wanted to run power saving mode or something like that, for right now, you actually have to tap it twice to wake it up if it's in power saving mode. The other one is it doesn't have NFC built in, which means that if there is a possible future where you can actually go and check in using some sort of card, then this isn't going to be the device for you. Of course, Microsoft is working on some first party, and also you can develop third-party apps to run in the app tray down here to actually do things like check in and authenticate in other ways. But some people do like to use cards or something like that they use to swipe doors or anything in their building, and the Tap Scheduler doesn't have the capability to do that. But other than that, I think it's a great device. Well done to Logi for bringing it out, and of course getting it certified so quickly. So once again, I'm talking about the Logitech Tap Scheduler. It's a Teams panel, freshly certified. If you do run a Logi estate, then I would definitely consider one. Thanks very much. Catch you in the next video.